And through this interactive webinar, we're going to talk about the evolution of CCM. We'll touch base on Quadrant's vendor evaluation process and also highlight important developments in the CCM market, as well as the capabilities that In10s technology provides. I'll be talking about Quadrant's research methodologies and evaluation criteria. Amandeep, my colleague, will share insights on CSM's evolution and key trend end users should look forward to. Then we'll have Joseph, who will share insights into the roadmap of new product offerings in the CCM domain from In10s Technologies. So, so this is the table of contents we'll be following, right? Thanks. So the question that most of you would have is, what is Quadrant Spark Matrix? So to understand which are the competitive players in the major technology markets and how they are positioned, Quadrant uses a proprietary tool called the Spark Matrix, which is essentially a graphical representation of key players in the technology space, supported by a uniform set of evaluation criteria. Bhavna, could you move to the next slide? Thank you. So the criteria I'm talking about is, as part of the Spark Matrix evaluation, each market participant is analyzed against several parameters of technology excellence and customer impact, as listed on the slide. Here we evaluate each vendor on a scale of 1 to 10, giving a wide-angle view of the relative positions of the market competitors. And in order for a vendor to be part of the Spark Matrix evaluation, there is a questionnaire that we require from them, and a 60-minute briefing session. And we also take feedback from end users. So we have a very comprehensive evaluation process in which we evaluate each vendor on these three parameters and then rank them on the Spark Matrix. The research methodology, as quite evident from the slide, we use a combination of primary and secondary research to evaluate each vendor. The result is in form of the Spark Matrix report, which is published every year, and which can be used as a planning guide for strategic decisions such as merger and acquisitions prospects, partnerships, geographical expansion or portfolio expansion, and many other ways that it can be used. So as you can see, when we're doing the primary research, we're talking to the top management, we're talking to the concerned team, product management, planning strategy, to understand the product in a more detailed manner. And during that 60-minute briefing session, we also have a product demo. So we also look at the product, how user friendly it is, how the end users would actually think that it is. So there is a lot of evaluation that goes into our Spark Matrix. Bhavna, if you could move to the next slide. This is just a representation of the 2023 Customer Communication Management Spark Matrix, and you can see In10s Technologies has been positioned as a technology leader. This is where we rate our vendors on customer impact and the technology excellence, those two evaluation criteria I was talking about earlier. And this is the position. This is the Spark Matrix that we share with our leaders, strong contenders, for them to showcase their capabilities and their achievements. Bhavna, if you could move to the next slide. Now, you might be thinking, what technology differentiator? What differentiates one vendor from the other? So that's a question on mind of many of the end users. So I'm picking up 4 of the key differentiators from a recent CCM report, and we can just kind of walk you through these 4 differentiators that we feel. There are many actually, but I'm just picking 4 of them for now. So for example, self-service portals, they assist in structuring and organizing the platform content better based on the target customer. AI/ML, I don't have to talk much about it, but I will still say that organizations are now looking for vendors that can automate redundant process, bring about efficiency, hence there's the need for the AI/ML capability. Scalability, flexibility is very much when it comes to the technology. So a scalable and a flexible CCM platform helps accommodating demand spikes, also provides an automated archiving tool for communications adhering to legal and data protection requirements. Last but not the least, personalized communication. I would just like to sum up by saying that serving customers exactly what they're looking for, right when they're looking for it, I think is what it is. Now, if you can just move to the next slide. Yes. So this slide is where In10s has performed in terms of the Spark matrix and the evaluation criteria that we had. And basis that I just want to talk about the In10s platform that we use, which is essentially their Uniserve and NXT platform. The application is built on principles of semantic grid computing and services-oriented architecture, which ensures horizontal and vertical scalability. So what it really means is that the application run on virtualized and non-virtualized environments with high productivity, and hence offering more. So in terms of capability, In10s the platform offers advanced data management capability, graphic user interface with no-code design, AI engine algorithm and automation that will help improve decision making, and robust analytics for the enterprise and B2B markets. Use cases, yes, with every technology comes in the case, use cases. So the CCM offering from In10s can be used working with contact center analytics to drive brand loyalty for an enhanced customer experience. It can be used for ad space monetization for cross-selling and brand partner marketing, and again, hyper-personalization for better customer engagement. So, continuing on the slide, I'll be talking about the key differentiator that In10s offers, and again listed some of them on the slide. So first one is the cloud and platform agnostic. The platform is cross-compatible and can run undistributed on any enterprise-grade operating system and database. That's the differentiator that In10s brings to the table. Data management module, large data processing capability. Now, this platform is designed to handle large data files, using a split join algorithm. So large data files are broken down into manageable chunks, and each chunk is segmented and packaged as a task. Now, depending on the processing constraints, these tasks can be dramatically split into smaller jobs, until the last chunk is processed. Once all of them are being processed, understood, these chunks are then loaded to form a single file. Next capability or key differentiator that In10s brings is the contextual and personalized customer communication and experience. Now, the platform essentially enables the business to embed variable data elements in customer communication. Further, the business rules and actions within the product will add in hyper-personalizing messages such that they're relevant to the customer's usage, geographical location, and other factors. So a personalized communication is right on the table. This has now been supported by the GUI for communication creation and low-code designer. Now, every technology comes with an aspect that should be easy to code with little coding knowledge. So it's a very the Unix platform is very developer-centric application, providing robust GUI with all the design and variable data elements. It's easy for the users to drag and drop and create communications without writing a single line of code. So next set of slides is what we're going to be talking about, how customer communication management has evolved over a period of time, and what are the key trends that the end users should be looking forward to. I'll hand it over to my colleague Amandeep to take it forward.
Thank you so much, Umang. So taking over, now we have heard about Spark metrics, we have heard about differentiators, what stand in the market. We need to know how it is moving forward, right? But we all know that the CX landscape has been dynamically evolving, and taking over every aspect is trying to join towards the end goal, that is of customer experience. But we need to know how it has moved, in what direction it has moved to the CXM space. I'm trying to tell in the first stage, I've divided the evolution into three different stages. In the first stage, you can see that the CCM evolution primarily characterized by on-premise solutions, and these tools automated the generation of one-way correspondence such as bills, statements, and notifications. The design of templates was limited, and data integration was also very minimal. For example, if you say that company might have used this type of tool to generate and send monthly bills to its customers, and the communication was one way with no interaction from the customer side. And slowly, when it moved to the second stage where the CCM actually came into picture, the evolution and its more robustness came into picture with the on-premise and cloud-based solutions. These platform focused on end-to-end communications, including transactional document generation, and robust data integrations. For instance, a bank could use a CCM platform to generate transactional documents like account statements, loan documents, etc., and send them to customers via mail, physical mail, or through a very secure portal. The platform was able at this time to integrate with the bank's core system to pull real-time data for the document generation. And soon the companies understand, okay, still the communication has enhanced, streamlined, but there is to be more interactiveness, more conversation, and the communication should be more customized. And then where the shift came to the third stage, enhancing the CCM to interactive CCM, offering customized communications and getting a mark on the omnichannel consistency, workflow management, and dynamic platform to create content to create the content. For example, an insurance company could use an interactive CCM platform to create personalized policy renewal reminders for each customers. The platform could pull data from various resources to customize the content, ensure consistent messaging across all channels such as mail, email, SMS, web, etc., and manage the workflow of the content creation, approval, and distribution. And now we are seeing the shift towards the customer experience management, the most advanced stage of CCM. And the thing is, the focus here is not just managing the communications, but enhancing the overall customer experience. These platforms are leveraged advanced technologies like AI/ML to analyze customer behavior, personalize communications, and predict the future needs. Like if you talk about, for example, a retail company could use next level of the CXM platform to analyze customer shopping behavior and personalize product recommendations and predict when they may need to reorder the product. The platform could also provide self-service options at this stage, allowing customers to manage their preferences, track orders, interact with the organizations at their own convenience. So this is where the conversation has also evolved and making it a very two-way conversation. At this time, the human variants that the variants that humans are creating can also be handled by the companies. So if you notice that this evolution, each stage has been increasing the efficiency, personalization, and interactivity of the customer communication with the ultimate goal of improving the customer experience. Every stage had a goal to move towards the customer experience, right? So we need to understand this, that the dynamics have changed. Marketing has evolved. Users require content personalized to their unique needs, right? And not just information, but conversation. So one-way communication and one size fit all messages are no longer effective. This is the CX era where business are trying to create relationship with users in a very unique way. To one more point I just want to conclude is that it's not, earlier the companies were they think that they could manipulate customers by thinking that they can behave the way they want. They just send them a one-way message into their ether, and they believe that somehow they will read it, get it, and care about it. But now we need to accept this, the power is in the hands of customers. So it requires a different mindset, either from CCM. It means to have a commitment to not only capturing the data, but understanding it, interpreting it, and using it to drive the perfect content across all the medias. That's where the ultimate goals. So I have one more point, I would like to add on at the end of the CXM, is that this changing digital environment has made some major changes, and one of the major changes is that time to market. It's very important. Earlier, the communication system used to take more than months also, and more than 2 to 3 months to just deploy one system of communication. But with the evolving needs, the time to market has just decreased to weeks and days, and that's what matters now. So we need to understand that for example, a bank trying to get the new product information on the mark, sending out marketing materials, and if they have this sluggish type of communication channels, the competitiveness will be very high and it will go further. So they need a system solution which will give them the time to market also. Moving on, next, after the evolution, I would like you to take through some trends. And the first trend, we all know that AI is changing in the landscapes. with the advent of the generative AI technology, LLMs, the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning in the CCM space is revolutionizing the CCM. Vendors are using AI to automate routine tasks and make customer interaction more personalized. For example, businesses can use basically NLP to understand the intent of customer queries and respond appropriately. Or they can use machine learning algorithms to predict where customers are most likely to assist, and what are the preferred channels, and target those customers with that personalized level. So to sum up about the AI, so AI powered communication platforms can intelligently handle the complexity of structured, personalized, compliant, omni-channel customer communication in much more effective, efficient, and an exceptional manner. Right? This was not possible earlier, but now with the advent of AI, we are seeing vendors. Yeah, I have seen taking use of this AI capabilities like optimization and assisted authoring, content optimization and assisted authoring, helps enterprise deliver dynamic content in real time. Also, so these are the changes that AI is trying to make in this CCM space. Moving forward, right? The increasing use of messaging app is making a significant trend because the customer communication, there is a shift from purely transactional approach. We have gone are those days where all the messages are were used to pile up and we could not reply them back, right? So they are moving from a transactional approach to a more conversational customer experience. Businesses are recognizing the importance of communicating with customers through messaging apps. For example, I can chat with Swiggy on my WhatsApp. I can chat with Zepto on my WhatsApp. I get all the bills on my WhatsApp. That are my preferred channels. I can get offers on my WhatsApp. So, messaging apps such as WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, WeChat, and others, have gained a tremendous popularity among customers worldwide. And they offer a convenient and immediate channel for communication, enabling businesses to engage with customers in real time. Moving forward, taking a self-service, I'll take taking self-service. CCM vendors are also recognizing the need for businesses to automate, customer interactions providing by self-service options. There are many self-serving capabilities such as integrating chatbot technology. By that, business can automate routine inquiries and provide instant responses. Knowledge bases are created to house relevant information and resources for customers accessible through self-service portals or chatbots. IVR systems again allows customers to interact with automated voice menus for self-service tasks. So you need to understand overall the CCM vendors are incorporating these self-service capabilities to empower businesses to provide efficient and personalized customer experiences with reduced cost and improve operational efficiency within their customer communication management strategies. One of my favorite, and the reason why everything is happening is more personalized more personalized experiences. So it has been said, personalization is one of the most important factor to build a truly effective communication, because customer needs have been changing. They expect personalization from brands and companies. Oftenly it is seen that customer expects to receive a tailor made experience completely customized to his taste, his needs, his requirements. So in initial phase, when the email marketing was at the par, we used to see that many companies give used to send out emails, and it became too tedious for the customers to identify which was relevant for them, right, to make. And these at these situations, vendors identified this and they tried to move to provide personalized experience, because competitiveness of business depends on it, right, how we reach to the customers and how fast in which we reach, right? So, but again, often undermined, personalization is not a single process. We need to understand that it's not like changing a name or changing a sentence for users communication. We have achieved personalization. It's important to derive personalization for specific customers from the content he likes, timing he prefers, suggestion that he offers, design that he likes, and many more similar things, right? So often you will see that when we talk about personalization, the first stage of personalization that vendors start with, I've seen with In10s also, they start with automating by creating and system of automating the system of reception, collecting and archiving through those communications and documents, and can be managed more easily, as well as different messages that are adaptable to business formats. But now you need to understand the CX landscape is changing, and it's not only at the phase of customer loyalty. We used to see that communications were very rigid and stringent in the loyalty section, but now we are seeing that customers are communicating right from the awareness stage, consideration, purchase, and loyalty. So each client is in a specific phase of its customer journey, and consequently it's sensitive to different types of communication. So if the customer is in the awareness phase, he needs communication that shows him how the company can effectively respond to specific needs. Then again, on the other hand, if the customer is in more advanced phase of the customer journey, such as consideration phase, where they are evaluating and comparing various choices, the communications must be personalized to leverage the non-direct functionality elements that can make them decide, leveraging heritage, sustainability, reliability, or other intangible, characteristics of a brand with high persuasive potential, right? So that's the power of personalization. It's at every stage now. So you need to communicate with your customers at every stage of the journey. Not but the least, all these trends are deriving that there is a need for CCM to integrate with the next evolving CX technologies. So CCM is becoming a subset of bigger CX landscape. So one of the technologies we've seen, CPaaS. We use communication platform as a service to build programmable APIs of communication channels. But after building, how will you operationalize it? To operationalize it, you need CCM, right? So that's where the role plays. Integrating it with the customer relationship, CRMs, CDPs. By leveraging CDPs, businesses can gather and analyze data, demographics, behavior, and preferences to more targeted and relevant communication through CCM, right? So CCM is playing a bigger role in getting into the subset of all the CX landscape. So these were all the major trends that I wanted to cover of the CCM space that is moving forward. Also, we'll now look at the In10s roadmap, that how In10s is aligned to all these trends and are already on par of achieving some of the trends. Joseph, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Aman. Thanks, Umang, and thanks, Bhavna. And thank you, everybody, for joining this webinar, right? So I've been listening to Umang and Aman, and I've been in this industry selling CCM as a flagship product for about 10 years. And I think I hear you, Aman, in terms of how the CCM platform has evolved and customer demands have changed over the last decade at least, because that's what I've been doing. And absolutely right. I could tell my customers 10 years ago that, the implementation of CCM will take about 6 months to 9 months, and they may be okay with it. But today I tell them 6 months and I'm out of the door. So today it's about, what can you do in 4 months or 4 weeks? Sorry. What can you do in 2 weeks? I want this to go live in the next 3 weeks. So, I mean, that's the kind of conversations we're having. And I think that's driving where our product is, what we are building to take to our customers as well. For instance, you just spoke of customer communications platform as a service. Now, what we had to do is to evolve. We said, all right, how my customers looking at it? We had to give it the other eye. As a technology company, you always look at, how can I process it faster, or what are the additional technological benefits that I can bring to the table. But then we had to give it another look at it, and we said, all right, what is my customer expecting? My customers are expecting that it's flexible. I will be able to make changes as soon as possible, make it more relevant to my customers. And I want to have everything under this one single window, which means that one single platform for communications that can be perhaps to prospective customers, to my existing customers, and all types of communication, whether it's dunning, welcome letters, transactional communications, regulatory communications that need to go out. And that's where we are moving. So, and in the other requirements for a communication platform as a service to have is you should also be able to manage aggregators, because today it's become so important. You can get overwhelmed with the amount of communications that come to you. So we are working very closely with some aggregators where we come pre-integrated with these aggregators. So you cut out that implementation life cycle to, test, check, whether the feedback is coming, if the message is delivered, not delivered, because You don't want to spray and pray. You're waiting for, insights and analytics with respect to, what time has the customer opened it, what type of communications he's interested in, which channel is going to be more effective for him. So you need all of these insights, and how much of time has he spent on it. And with the interactive communications that we took to the market a few years ago, and video communications that we've taken to the market a few years ago, we are adding more insights to it. What I mean by that is, we know how much of time he's spending on these communications. And all of this only means that, there's so much more data available, and that's what organizations are looking for. And if you wanted more wallet share from your customer, you need these insights. So I think that's where we are moving with it. And today, customers are also looking at it operationally, how much it's going to cost me to run this platform. So it's a completely automated platform that we take to the market while providing all of these insights. So that's clearly one of the, things that we are taking to the market this year. We already started it in bits and pieces, and in the next quarter, it will be a full-fledged communication platform as a service that will be available from In10s. In addition to that, we're working on an ML engine algorithm to support the customer preferred channel. What that means is that today, you sending out an SMS can cost you anywhere between 10 paise to about 12, 13 paise. And we're looking at, all right, do I always need to send out an SMS communication? Can I use the mobile push notification, which is practically, hardly any cost, or maybe an email, which will be a paise and a half. So we're looking at reducing that communication cost big time. And that is by looking at, if it is Joey, does Joey look at email communications more often? Does he look at WhatsApp communications? Does he look at SMS or mobile app? And we look at giving these, different channels a confidence rating. So business will be able to use that to say, all right, let's first send out an email. And if the email doesn't work, 2 hours later, I'll send an SMS. So this not only helps you not over communicate with the customer, but you communicate effectively. So that's important. Now, along with that, what we are also adding on top of that is the ability to add urgency. If it's an urgent communication, you want to create urgency. So you create journeys, you orchestrate this whole communication by saying, all right, I send the first email, no response, no open. I send another one, change the subject line and say, all right, here's something important. You may have missed this email. So we will be constantly adding value to, what our customers need. And all of this is, driven by co-creation. We work very closely with our customers. And a testimony to it is the fact that, it's available on, it's publicly available information. On the Gartner Peer Insights, we are placed number 1. So our existing customers work with us closely. We'd like to take feedback from them, co-create what's important for them. I think that's one of the key differentiators as well for us. Now, I just spoke of customer preferred channel. In the other pieces that we are currently working on, which will be based on AI, ML algorithms, is subject line optimization, send time optimization, sentiment analysis, because all of this is going to add more insights to, what else do you want to take to your customers? How do you become your customer's preferred choice that he wants to work with, whether you're an insurance organization, whether you're a bank, whether you're a broking firm, it could be anything, right? You always want to be the preferred service provider. So for that purpose, we are looking at, how we will be able to use these different insights that will help your customer, for your organizations to become a customer's advisor, a trusted advisor to your customers. So all this is only going to help us. The other piece is now we've also seen that, while we communicating with our customers, we try and look at, can I create cohorts? Because that will help us communicate with the customers using different messaging techniques. You don't want to be, I create one template and I send it to the whole population of India. You know that, some customers would like to see their communications in their preferred language. Some communications where you want to send them in the morning. Some communications you want them to see it in the evening. So we have to create cohorts, and we are working with our engineering team to create such cohorts that will add value to how the organization is communicating with them and what they communicate. Now, in terms of operations and management, it becomes highly important for the organizations to manage these operations with respect to one, you not only want to detect anomalies, but you also want to see, all right, why was there an anomaly? And you don't want it all to always be a manual task. So we're working with our engineering team again to look at, Fine, I will be able to detect anomalies. Now, will I be able to predict if there's going to be, some kind of an outage with respect to perhaps increase in volume due to a regulatory change, or perhaps something else that happened at the organization and you're going to expect huge call volumes. So you might want to send out an email earlier before that call lands in the contact center, indicating to your customers that yes, we are aware, something's happened and we will get back to you. So we're working on different algorithms, different techniques to work with how you will be able to enable your customers with more information, more insightful information, and automate some of these operations with respect to self-healing capabilities as well. So anomaly detection was a story that, people would have heard about 3-4 years ago. Today, you're also looking at, some of it can be self-healing. So you're using ML algorithms to look at, all right, today I know we had the same problem 2 years ago. We had the same problem at another implementation. Can I borrow that? Can I use that within in-house with the information I have to auto self-heal these anomalies that we have? So different techniques are being adapted, and we work closely with the likes of Quadrant and other research analysts to look at what our customers need. We speak very often to our customers, and the testimony is that we've got the biggest brands with us in terms of bank, insurance, telecom. We work with them. We'd love to co-create, and I think that that sets us apart from our competition. And that's why we would love to say that we are a preferred choice of customer communication management product in India, and now we are looking to expand across the globe. So Bhavna, Aman, Umang, I think, I wanted to cover this part on In10s's future roadmap, and we've got a few minutes, I'm sure, for a lot of Q&A.
We have a couple of questions, Joey, Umang, and Amandeep. First one is from Satish Kumar. Okay, his question goes like this. Does your R&D also involve hands-on evaluation or POCs?
Yes, so Satish, we do hands-on evaluation through the product demo, which is part of the 60-minute briefing session, where we request a vendor to walk us through the interface and how it works, and we kind of pick up some technicalities over there and ask them to help us with certain aspects. So that's definitely done, but through that 60-minute briefing session.
Hey, yeah, sorry. Just to add to what Umang just mentioned, right? I think each one of our implementation is, a testimony. So we also work very closely with the system integrators, with any prospect that we have, and at any point in time, we will be able to arrange for reference calls. And I'm sure Quadrant may have done that too. Would have spoken to some of our existing customers. So we work with them. We will be able to share references as well as and when required.
Thanks, Joy.
Yeah.
Another question, this is again from Satish. Does In10s support headless content, say integration with DAM or WCMS for headless content integration?
Yes, absolutely. I think great question, Satish, and thanks a lot for bringing that up, right? So, well, today you want to engage with your customers using different channels, and you want to ensure that, it's not that, your campaign system is separate, your website is going to be another, work in silos, and my communications that go out from a CCM platform become, 3 different independent systems. You have to have them integrated, and we integrate with, whether it's digital asset management to get in videos that can be put in as short links, or in our interactive communications, if you see a sample, we will be able to embed, and the customer can play the video from there itself. So it can be voice messages, it can be video content, it can be marketing material. All of that will be able to, we will be able to embed and integrate with your digital asset management systems, and also your web content management. So whether it is you want us to push content there that we are dispatching to the customers, or whether you want us to borrow information from there and place that or superimpose that on the communications that are going out to the customers. It can work both ways.
Joy, I have a follow-up question on it.
Sure, Satish.
For the explanation. So are these connectors that are available out of box, and if so, which are DAM or WCMS do you provide integration with?
So right now, what we have is, one is one method that we look. We have our own content authoring UX and UI to begin with. That's number one. So a lot of organizations will use that to kind of change content every month. In terms of a lot of times I don't remember the names exactly, but for content that changes, marketing images that change, or regulatory information that changes, text boxes, images, videos, we dip into the marketing team's repository. We, in some places, we've also exposed an API, where they share that content in base 64, and then we convert that information, superimpose that on the template, and then dispatch it out to our customers.
Thanks, Joe. I would be interested a little bit more on it because I think the trend what we are seeing is, and it ties back to your comment of things working in silos, right? They want a hub and spoke model where clients want to manage content for any channel at central place.
Correct.
And they want one of the spoke, which could be CCM, to tap onto that content, right? Which is already managed, governed, and all. They don't want to replicate it again within the CCM's repository, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it could be messages, it could be, as you said, images and all. So I would be interested a little bit more if you could share offline those details.
Sure, Satish. I think thanks a lot for that question, and following it up with what customers are looking for and where the market is moving to. And I think that's why you will see in the content that is being shared and how the CCM space has evolved. We have to borrow a lot of technologies from perhaps, let's say, a market automation tool or a content management solution. And it's not that we want to step on each other's toes, but I think that's what they are expecting of a communication platform. And I think all this becomes extremely important. So excellent. We will follow up, Bhavna and we will work with our team to work with you and get you some information across, perhaps have another meeting.
Yeah, sure. Joy, Bhavna, is it okay if I ask a few more questions?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we have time, Satish, we can.
So we'll certainly like to have a product demo, Joy. We can plan it with Bhavna and all. So, but some of the points that you made about implementing AI, ML, the DAM integrations, the SEO, SLO kind of measurements and all, right? So we are also, I mean, it's good that you guys have, have a head start, if I may. Very few vendors we have seen are looking at bringing all those capabilities, and this has been our observation also. My question is it already there or it is in your product roadmap? I think I heard you saying something of that sort is coming out in next quarter.
Correct. So you paid a lot of attention. Thank you, Satish. All right. So let me say, how we're working with this. The customer preferred channel was part of Q1, so that's already released. We have SLO STO, which will get released, I think, by the mid of this month. It's already on the test bed, so that needs to go out. And like I said, not always do we have to go, sit in the mountains and think of something new, but we work with our customers to co-create. So it's on demand that we have to build this, so it is ready, and hopefully early next month you will also be able to see a demonstration of it. So that's the speed that we work at. And being an organization that has a lot of customers in India, there is no time.
That's true. And you will get variety of problems, more variations than that can feed into your product development.
Absolutely, yes.
There is a question from Raghav. I will let you answer that first. He's asking, are there any rapid migration add-ons from other CCM, leading CCM products or legacy products to In10s?
Oh, great question again, Raghav. And I'm simply because a CCM application as such, it's not plug and play. I mean, it can become intrusive, and when I say intrusive, these are governed by regulators. These are governed by multiple stakeholders within the organization. It could be marketing, it could be legal, it can be the business owners. So there are multiple stakeholders to this. So we looked at, what is possible in this space of, looking at rapid go live techniques. I want to change that phrase and say, all right, is there a rapid go live instead of migration? Migration is one, how you move data, but I'll leave that aside. And I think I'll focus on, with respect to, if you want a new platform, you're looking at more about how soon will I be able to experience the benefits, and how soon do I see my return on the investment. So I'll spend some time there on this question at least. So I think what we did is, we took a hard look at this and we said, all right, dear customer, there are two things we can do. With respect to your SMS communications, it was easy. We were able to build a component and we said, all right, we can import your SMS communication templates and then kind of turn that around really quick. So that was easy. That was an easy kill. So that happens with rapid migration. That's possible. Now when it came to templates, which is batch communications, which had regulatory requirements, that's where it's both yes and no. One is, if you want it same, I mean, if you're going to move from your existing platform and you're moving it to the new platform with no changes, we said we can do it. It will still be not as easy as an upload an Excel sheet, but it's going to be slightly different, where we will be able to import some parts of it. But you will have to, it's about, where do you want to call the shots in terms of benefits that come from our platform. Is I will be able to use layering technology. I'm using business rules. I'm using conditions. I'm going to insert, links, webhooks into the communications that are going out because I need insights. So if you need all of that, it may be a little more slow, but then you will see more benefits. But if you're just looking at purely, let's just move, lift and shift everything to our platform, we can do that, and that will be rapid. But it's about having discussions, getting into these discovery sessions, looking at prioritizing, what do you want to put on that rapid path, where do you want to see your ROI, how soon do you want to realize your ROI, and then we work with our customers closely to see what's beneficial for them. So I think it's not only about implementing our product. I think I can safely and confidently say that, today we work with our customers purely as consultants, as trusted advisors in terms of, how they should implement a CCM platform. And thanks to the likes of, Quadrant, Gartner, and the others, we also tell them that, listen, CCM is a well-documented space, because a lot of times, I rest on these guys because I tell them, listen, please go and read about CCM space. It's a well-documented space, and this does not fall in our scope when I don't have to take on something. So thankfully, we are able to work our way through these difficult questions.
I have one last question before I will park other ones when we do the demo. Is In10s cloud native now, or it's on-prem, primarily on-prem?
See, because the platform was built about 20 years ago, it was on-prem, but I think in the last 10 years, definitely there was a huge shift to cloud. So today we are cloud ready. Some of the components are cloud native. We use them as well. But all our data management and data crunching happens on a C++ application. So, and we understand the benefits it's going to give us. But otherwise, with respect to, when it comes to, let's call business users, let it be, people who want to look at business rules, you want to upload content. We've worked with the latest technologies to give them self-help UX and UI, so they will be able to use that to upload content. So it's a combination of the two. But today we've got implementations on the cloud and a multitude of them. So we've not only got cloud, but we also have on-prem, and we have a hybrid as well. We actually picking up data from the on-prem, we encrypt that data, move it to the cloud, decrypt, check and reconcile if the data is accurate, and then start processing. So there are some really complex implementations that we got into as well. And we are talking about banking space. So a lot of work went into implementing CCM on the cloud when it came to one of the biggest banks that went purely on cloud for CCM. We actually had to do this entire journey for them.
And Joey, are any SDKs available for In10s so that we can stitch it inside any other business apps that we are building?
Yes, Satish, what we'll do is, when we get into our discussions, when we organize a demo and maybe
Okay.
perhaps a little discovery, we will discuss, what's the scope that you're looking at, and if there is a gap, we can identify that and we'll work our way through it.
Sure, thanks. And I have few other questions around license model and all. We can touch base when we do the demo.
Certainly, Satish.
All right, I'm good with my queries. Thanks, Bhavna, for.
Thank you, Satish.
Thanks a lot, Satish. We have another question from Raghav. He's asking if there's any built-in test data creation on the fly, depending on the data types, metadata on templates.
I think so far, because we are a product company and we work with our customers, where the responsibility of UAT lies with the customer. They give us all the test data. But when we do a lot of our POCs and pilots, we are expected to come with our own test data. That's when we create our own test data. And our testing team is a separate center of excellence where they work with, creation of this data. A lot of times, another requirement came for one of our implementations where we had to actually anonymize the data before we could even use it. So that's where we work with our customers to put something in place for this. But this is driven purely by, what business cases are required, and our business analysts and the testing team work together to kind of make sure, all the test cases are implemented, because we can perhaps create all these test cases and test data, but it should also fall in line with, what the end objective is. And that's why our business analysts work closely with the testing team to work on this. So for, if you say banking, yes, we have that data. For telecom, we have. For insurance, we have, because we worked in this space. But if it's a new domain, it may take us perhaps a little more effort and a little more time to create this test data. But for implementations that we've done in the past, we certainly have test data too.
We have one last question. How can CCM stand out in today's competitive landscape?
Yeah, I can see that. Twilio, SendGrid, Cinch. Yeah. Well, like I said, Raghav, and thanks for bringing this question up. Today, the end customer, it's not about In10s. It's not more. I think this question more should be asked about, are the customers willing to bet on, In10s or a CCM vendor to do the job of what SendGrid, Cinch, and the others are doing? And the answer to that is yes, because today we are working with a lot of our customers who are saying, listen, you're doing all the heavy lifting, right? And then you integrate with the likes of Netcore, SendGrid, Cinch, Value First, and all of these. And they got the tough job of reconciling all that data. So, because they cannot do what we do. That's number one. So what we are doing, and that's why I said at the beginning of that roadmap piece where we're talking about communication platform as a service, we're coming pre-integrated with the likes of SendGrid, Cinch, and the others, where we say, all right, we already have all of these aggregators under the same umbrella. And depending on key performance indicators that have been identified and contracted, we will be able to manage the traffic that's going to them. So they operate in two different, we operate in two different spaces, but today it's not about me trying to step on their toes. We are not doing that. What we're doing is we are going to our customers pre-integrated so that we cut short a lot of the implementation time that the customers don't want to talk about, don't want the pain, and they don't want to get into that whole test life cycle of, all right, what data are you getting back? What kind of insights are you getting back? Is that information enough? Not enough? So when we go pre-integrated, it's tested, it's tried. We know what we can work with. We know what data is available with respect to insights such as open, click, how long did he spend? So we have all that information with us already. Okay, in terms of cost and scale, I mean, you take Geo, for example, they are using our product for communications. You take HDFC, you take Axis Bank. So huge volumes going out from our product. So I don't see any challenge with respect to scale. There is auto scale functionality already implemented. So on the cloud, in terms of, on-prem, like Umang mentioned earlier, semantic grid, you can scale vertically, horizontally, so we see no challenges there. So no, not a problem. In terms of cost, I think it becomes even better for us, right? So one is because I got a multitude of aggregators, the customers definitely see a benefit in that, because then depending on the KPI, depending on how much money they have to pay, they will tweak the KPI, and then the control lies with the customers to how they distribute this volume between the likes of Twilio, SendGrid, Cinch, Netcore, and the others.
Joey, just to add on that, we also to understand, the vendors that these Twilio and Grids, since come from, building from a developer centric, right? From a developer centric approach of building communication, real time programmable APIs into that, and and slowly moving into these directions. They're also experimenting by Twilio, you see Twilio's Flex, many more platforms like Cinch. But the thing is that what makes CCM stand out is that it bridges the gap between the digital and non-digital experiences. Like for instance, you go to a lens card showroom and you order it online. You go there, they have all your details. You don't need to have a lot of hunch. Go haywire. They have everything on a space. Same, you buy something from store and you get home. You have the digital experience from mobile, SMS. Everything is so seamless. So your experiences are very much similar, and that's what makes CCM stands out. And these companies, marketing platforms they're made for digital marketing. They're trying to focus in. So I want to highlight the focus of these vendors goes on a communication excellence, platform right now. They're evolving. It's just started from emerged state to a growth stage. You see a lot of acquisitions happening in that CPaaS space, and I've seen that CCM vendors driving with these aggregator concepts of going pre-integrated to the customers are directly jumping towards the customer experience stage while they want to create a good experience with the communication management that they do. So I think that makes CCM stand out in like this context.
Sure, Raghav. I think definitely, we will connect with you. Raghav says that, would be interested to see a demo. So I think we will work with you, and we will circle back.
Are there any more questions that we can address to? I think we don't have any more questions coming up, Julie.
Yeah, so I think we're good then. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining, taking this 60 minutes out on a Friday evening. So I know Friday evenings are very important. I'm waiting to get out too. So thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend too.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.